Okay, so good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming, for all of you who are here face to face, and thanks for everyone who is watching this online. I know that there is quite a few students of HERC from UAE watching, so thanks for them also. I would like to thank the NSCA for having us here, and NSCA Germany for organizing such amazing conference. Yesterday was amazing with so many great speakers, great subjects. So I'm here today to speak about how sport and exercise science has been developed in the UAE and to speak about our own system that we developed there. So before we start, just a quick disclaimer. In this presentation, you're going to see the information that are all internet-based resources that can be found by anyone, that are results of meetings and collaboration that AGRC did with government, public, and private entities in the UAE, and part of ongoing or already published scientific research that we did in the UAE. I also have no actual or potential conflict of interest in regards to this presentation. So we're going to go through some general part of the presentation, which is going to be first the overview of the UAE as a country, then how sport and exercise has been developed in the UAE. Then we will move on to the specific section, which is going to be the overview of HERC system and what accomplishments we had so far and what are our future plans. So UAE, as we know it today, is formed in 1972 when federation was formed out of 7 emirates: Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman, Al Quwain, Fujairah, and Ras Al Khaimah. So this was a key point because all those emirates brought in together to form the United Arab Emirates. As you can see, back in 1950, there were around 60,000 inhabitants in the UAE. And then the number significantly increased in 1975, and then inclined in 2000 to almost 3.5 million. And today there is around 10 million people living in the UAE, so quite steep incline. Dubai is the economic and tourist capital of the UAE with 3.5 million people, so the largest city. Behind it is Sharjah, which is the cultural capital of the UAE with 1.8 million inhabitants, and Abu Dhabi is the capital of the UAE with 1.6 million people. So currently in the UAE, there are more than 200 nationalities living. So they are working, many expatriates, as you can see, 8.84 million or 89% of the population in the UAE is expats. And that's one of the reasons why UAE government did so many transitions and changes in the law just to accommodate the expats and to afford them a nice and comfortable living. Arabic is the, of course, official language and the first language. Immediately after is English, and it's being used in parallel in all the institutions, government, and also schools, universities. In 1981, the Gulf Council was formed, consisting UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia. So this is the first time when these Arabic countries came together and developed some vision of the development in this part of the world. And of course, UAE is currently, so 40 years later, leading in the development, not just of sport and exercise science, but in general as economic growth and culturally as well. So UAE has the second largest economy in the Arab world after Saudi Arabia, with a GDP of 440 billion US dollars. In 2018. A third of the GDP is from the oil revenues, which mainly comes from Abu Dhabi. So when people are listening about the UAE, they are usually thinking oil-rich country, but not all Emirates are like that. For example, Dubai has just around 7% of the oil revenues. Everything else is based on the tourism, very well designed infrastructure, and simply it's an amazing city to develop new business opportunities and in general for the entrepreneurship. So Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, late, is the founding father of the UAE. He's the one who came with the whole idea of how UAE should look like, and this is what we are having today. A great country, completely developed. It was not like that when he was starting. He just had simply a desert and nothing else. And today UAE is very well known, very well developed, and competing with the leading countries in the world in many different subjects. So the UAE is the third richest country in the world, behind Luxembourg and Qatar, with the GDP per capita of more than 57,000 US dollars. Yeah. So some of the biggest achievements, I decided just to mention the ones that are, I would say, on the world stage, very important. So it's the Baraka nuclear power plant, which powers most of the UAE. This is a huge achievement because it's done on the UAE soil, completely designed by the UAE people from the UAE. So it's a huge thing. Second one is the UAE space program. Did anyone could guess that UAE actually has a space program? As I'm speaking now, one of the persons that is in international space station that is orbiting the Earth is from the UAE. So that's a huge achievement. Also, the craft, the Hope probe was crafted completely in the UAE and launched from Japan to reach the Mars orbit. So UAE became the second country in the world to reach the Mars orbit from the first attempt. So currently, the Hope probe is still in the Mars orbit, gathering the information and sending back for the scientific research back to the UAE space station. Also, one huge achievement was back in 2013 when UAE was granted to hold a huge expo, which supposed to happen in 2020, but due to coronavirus, it was postponed for a year. So it started in 2021. It was a very successful event. It lasted for 182 days. The UAE, for 7 years, built completely new city, just slightly outside of the original territory, let's call it like that we know as Dubai. They linked the metro all the way to that city, huge city that accommodated more than 24 million people, and 192 countries were representing their work there. So when it comes to the sport and exercise in the UAE, this is just a brief overview of what we have. We have a General Authority of Sport, which is something similar to the Ministry of Sport in other countries. We have three main general authorities in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and Sharjah, and they are on the top of the Sport Council. Each emirate has its own sports council that are running the federation and associations. Of course, there is also National Olympic Committee that is having the work like in most of the other countries. So the sports sector has an economic impact that is worth more than 670 million US dollars just in Dubai. There are around 1,000 fitness clubs. So it's a very, very popular industry. Not quite regulated completely by the government, but that's one of the next steps that the government is having, integrating the whole fitness system and sporting system under one roof, and we hope that HERC will be one of the important parties in trying to make that happen. The Emiratis traditionally engage in falconry, race horses, camels, and traditional does. This is what they have before. In the modern era, of course, there are several sports that were brought. Most played one was football, golf, polo, tennis, rugby, sailing, yacht, and motor racing. Also, aside from these, UAE is well known by organizing some of the huge international events that I'm going to mention in next slides. Fitness initiative is something that has been brought directly by the government. So each emirate has, I would say, almost a rule to have sufficient number of fitness initiatives within the emirate. So usually 2 to 3 initiatives per year are happening where all the public is involved. So this is just a brief overview of some of the most important or the biggest events that happen in the UAE. As you can see, from 1989, where the World Championship for under 19 for volleyball happened. You can see Asia Cup, FIFA World Youth Championship that happened in 2003, weightlifting championship for Asia in 2005 in Dubai, Rugby World Championship also in Dubai and Sharjah, beach soccer, Rugby World Cup Sevens. Those are some of the most notable ones. Also, you can see a powerlifting world championship. World Triathlon Championship has Abu Dhabi as its regular station. This year is happening also this month. Dubai Fitness Championship, which is part of the CrossFit Games, are happening regularly there. So all the top CrossFitters from the world are coming to compete as well. Also, cycling is very popular and triathlon as well. So when it comes to actual science in sport and exercise in the UAE, this is quite, I would say, a fresh new topic that is still to be developed. And that's why we from HERC are a little bit ahead of the development in the UAE. So the first university that got 2 programs for our field was University of Birmingham, just in 2021. So first time ever in the UAE, 2 master programs, one in sport coaching and another one in physical education and well-being. We were the first one to have an MOU with University of Birmingham, 5-year long, as support for the education and research in the UAE. So our center supports them in regards to the inviting lectures and research. Aside from that, there are quite a few programs, master degree programs in sport management, and very well developed program from University of Sharjah in master in physiotherapy. They also have a bachelor in physiotherapy that is well developed already for quite some time. So outside of this, there has not been much done. There was one local program from one of the universities that was more in a health and physical activity, but very just a few subjects that were in regards to the physical education, actually. So when it comes to the research in our field, again, it was just never a systematic approach. It was just a couple of individuals that happened to be in the UAE and working within some of the entities that were driving force of the research in the UAE. So Abu Dhabi Police had a couple of papers published, and it was done in association with a few of the people from the NSCA. That's pretty much it. Outside of that, there has been a lot of publication in the domain of sports tourism, sports management, and other socio-economic aspects of sport. The only field that has a regular and, let's say, a systematic publishing is from the University of Sharjah, Department for Physiotherapy. They have research groups that are publishing regularly. Outside of this, the HERC is at the moment, alongside with the University of Birmingham, the only entity that provides its own original scientific research in the UAE. So, I would like to say that we have a new take on sport and exercise science, not just because we are pioneering this in the UAE, but in general as a system that we have. So we were founded in 2018. And I like to say that we have a 360-degree approach, working within 3 departments. So our first department is called HERC Strength. This is so-called the practical part, where we are having integration of all scientific findings. In its essence, we are having a team of physiotherapists, sports medicine specialists, personal trainers, and strength and conditioning coaches under the one roof, providing all familiar services. We are also having our own app that is called HERC Fitness that we are using to organize the workout and to support the clients. So those are just some of the images of the services that we are providing. Our second department is education department. We are providing various courses, from the entry-level courses to the specialization courses, as well to the CPD that are tailored to the different organizations, from the individuals to the government entities, sports clubs as well. Most of our programs are internationally recognized, approved by UK OFQUAL. Some programs like level 2 gym instructor, level 3 personal trainer. Then we have a variety of specialization. The most popular one, it's specialization in strength and conditioning. So those are the courses that are entirely done by the in-house team based in the UAE. So we are one of the few providers that are based in the UAE. There is a culture in the UAE of bringing people abroad and having a variety of the courses. But we are very happy to have a great team based in the UAE to provide those services. And as I said before, we are supporting few different universities as well. So these are just some of the images from some practicals that we have. This one in particular was practical parts of the strength and conditioning course. So our students need to go through the thorough practical exams, theoretical exams before getting the certification. We have around 60% passing rate on this, so it's not easy at all. Also some pictures from some of the conferences where we were presenting. And our third department is the research department. In 2018, this was just a wish. We had in the name of the company, we had that word research, but in 2018 we didn't do anything. It was just idea, because it was not existing in the UAE. It was no way that we can register any research project that we have. There was absolutely no support, but 2 years later, in 2020, we started finally to work on this. It was a great thing that also we managed to get some people employed in a company who were head of research. Ivana is here. She's our head of research. So she did amazing work in organizing all of this, because we had a little bit broader approach. In most of the European countries, in the US as well, it's already well known who is doing the research, what are the institutions, how the budgeting is developed. In the UAE, that was not existing in our field. So we took the approach that we are doing the research, that it's in regard to health, exercise science, and sports science, which is very broad. You're not going to see that in other countries. Usually, institutions are picking our research groups, and then they are staying within one very narrow field. We took this wide approach, and then see who's going to react from the UAE and start doing. So our first bigger project was with the University of Birmingham, which I'm going to talk in a coming slides. How we are with time? Okay. So just some of the pictures here from some of the research projects that we did. Also in our center in Dubai, we are having, for now, privately the most equipped lab when it comes to the research that can support any type of the research. We have a whole-walled system. We have a system for Italy for the VO2 measurements, so we can pretty much do anything that is needed for any club or individual. Some of the most notable projects that we were part of was Dubai Fitness Challenge, or DFC 3030 project. This is an initiative directly from His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, he's Crown Prince of Dubai. It started in 2017. The idea is to involve the public regularly in 30 minutes of activity each day for 30 days in order to have this as a successful project. The whole Dubai becomes an exercising ground. So all gyms, all sporting clubs, all outdoor areas, as you probably know, UAE and Dubai has like 350 sunny days. Yeah, so just 15 days of rain, and that rain is less than what we had this morning here, so almost nothing. So great initiative that brings the whole industry together. The best thing about it, it's free. Whole city, all gyms, all spaces, free classes for 30 days, from the early morning to the end of the day. There is a special app developed that is tracking all the results that participants are having. So it started with around 800,000 participants in 2017. This year edition, the sixth edition, had 2.2 million participants. Dubai is 3.5 million inhabitants. 2.2 million participants. What a success. So from the research perspective, can you imagine having the app that tracks all the residents, tracks the weight management, fat muscle percentage before and after? What a chance to have a huge amount of people participating in the research, yeah? So there was two most notable events that are happening during this project. That's Dubai Run and Dubai Ride. Those are two separate events. Dubai Run is 5K or take an optional run. This year, 193,000 people was running at the same time. Second time in a row, World Guinness record of the most runners at one place. 2021 was the year that around 180,000 people participate. So last year, the Guinness World Record was broken again from this run. The run is happening on Sheikh Zayed Road, very broad and wide road. So everyone is coming together at 6 a.m. in the morning to do this. Yeah, 193,000 people at the same place. Immediately after Corona finished, yeah, so it's... Other event was a Dubai Ride, the cycling event with 35,000 participants. So now, at the top, the part of our actual project and what it consisted of, it was in collaboration with the University of Birmingham. I already mentioned we have a 5-year-long MOU signed with them for the education, research, and joint projects. So this was our first biggest project that we did. We had, this was the first time for the Dubai Fitness Challenge that anyone did any type of the research. Also the first time in the UAE that anyone tested school kids from various international schools. So we had field testing, motivation, dietary habits, attitudes towards exercise. Most likely we're going to have 7 to 10 publications in leading international sports science journals published just from this research project. We had 800 participants. We had the pre and post measures. We also signed a deal with the schools to have a longitudinal design, so every year to remeasure the same group of kids. The plan for 2023, this year, is to become an official research partner of Dubai Fitness Challenge. So if this happens, we are expecting to have a hold of the app where all the residents will be registered, and we are hoping to have that problem of organizing a research design for more than 2 million people, and try to make sense of such a huge data. And of course, in order to do this, we definitely need government with all of its entities, Dubai Sports Council, all sports clubs supporting. But the good thing about this is that we have a knowledge and we have expertise in our center, alongside, of course, with the University of Birmingham, to pull out one such research project. Also, if you didn't know, University of Birmingham is top 100 university, 88 in the world, 7th in the subject of sports. And just, I think, a few days ago, the QS published a new ranking where University of Birmingham climbed up for one place, so 6th in the world in sport-related subjects. These are just some of the images from the DFC 3030 project. It was huge to test 800 participants, practically pre and post 2 times. We needed to gather a huge team. We had many volunteers that are supporting the development of physical education and strength and conditioning at large. So we were very happy to pull out this. The other notable project that we have was in collaboration with the Ministry of Interior, more specifically with Dubai Police and their academy. So we developed, our strength department did a tactical strength and conditioning drill that happened at Expo that had a huge success. We use the most advanced training methods to train the students from the academy. And this was a celebration of 50 years of founding of Ministry of Interior in the UAE. So we were chosen directly from the government to pull out this on Expo, where all the countries were present. So those are just some of the images from the event that we have. It was quite successful. It was we end up in more than 15 media outlets, local and international, with this event. If Professor Brent Alvar was here, he would be very happy to see this. But he knows already about this, so it's okay. The other very important project that we did was LTAD and IPDM models that we also presented at the Expo. This was in collaboration with several government entities that you have here on the slide, with the Hemaya International Center, Emirates School Establishment, KHDA, Positive Spirit Initiative. We had those two models presented to 700 Emirati, so local kids from the local families, which is very small percent, which was great thing to have because we showcased the best way how the kids should be trained. And we were hoping that with this event, we're going to affect actually the PE system in the UAE. So that was the goal. Those are just some of the images. As you can see, the local culture and tradition has been respected here, so all the kids are covered. Other most notable project was the strength and conditioning preparation for the two World Championships that we did with Emirates Canoe and Rafting Federation. Our strength and conditioning coaches prepared the participants for the World Junior Championship that happened last year in Hungary, and surf ski or ocean racing championship that happened last October in Portugal. So we have participants there. Also, we are hoping that we will stay in a good relation with the federation. We will be preparing the participants for Olympic qualification for Paris 2024 and Los Angeles 2028. So we did a complete preparation from the initial testing to program design and actual physical or strength and conditioning training of the athletes. These are just some of the images. Last year, UAE decided to allow the residents of the UAE to present the country. Yeah. So here we have Baraj Bartfai, who was a presenter of the UAE on the Junior World Championship in kayak and Senior World Championship in surf ski. Just some of the images with the main coaches from the federation. And while doing all those things, we have been recognized from the many government entities. I have been rewarded with a golden visa, which is a 10-year visa in the UAE, which has been given for the, I would say, the special support and help of the development of sport and exercise in the UAE directly from the government. We received also multiple rewards from Dubai Police. We are in a couple of the local newspapers with a regular publishing here, as you can see in Gulf News and Arab News. We were also featured in Dubai Police newspapers for the events that we did at Expo. Some of the future plans that we have are all according to the UAE vision and development for 2030 and also Dubai Agenda of Development, or D33, which plans to develop the sporting sector further. So some of the very important things are done by Dubai Sports Council. So with them, we are more than half of the year of negotiations in order to develop couple of the plans in regards to getting the education together for all the federations. So the first time the federations will have some rules to attend some CPD points per year, all different sports. And also they would like to develop some youth development program for the overall nation. Yeah. So talent identification, if you would like. Also, Yeah, I mentioned already continuous education for federation. Now, currently, we are forming an expert group at HERC, so we're going to have some people from NSCA, some very known names in our group. It's going to be around 10 people, not just from exercise and sports science, but a little bit broader as well. Some sports psychology, sport management, also law and legislations. The idea is just to be able, as a center, to support the government in its entirety. Because so far we have many individuals and many different entities approaching, trying to do something, but no one had a full approach. So obviously from our center, we don't have a power to do such a big thing, so we are forming an expert group that is going to be probably formed in the next couple of months. So yeah, outside of this presentation that was quite broad and just presenting UAE and our center, today in the afternoon at 4 p.m. we have more practical, I would say, presentation done by my colleagues Ivana and Dragan. They're going to talk about LTAD and IPDM models, and they're going to present our results of one of the unpublished studies that we are preparing for the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research. So that's going to be very interesting because they're going to have practical parts. So again, that's happening at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. You can attend that if you would like. Is there any questions in regards to anything to this presentation? Did anyone ever visited UAE from here?
Yes.
Okay, you did. Which city?
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. Okay.
Dubai, also Qatar.
Oh, amazing. Yes. Yeah. So it's amazing place to visit. Very, very flexible. Many people have different opinions, but it's once you visit it, you always visit it, you always wish to visit it again. So it's amazing place to be. So if you have a chance, do so. Thanks a lot for coming here and attending today. Also, thanks a lot everyone who is attending this presentation online. Thank you.